What protection does Article 15 give women in India? Article 15 gives women one of the clearest constitutional protections in India. It says the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds only of sex. In simple words, the government cannot lawfully treat a woman unfairly just because she is a woman. That is a direct constitutional barrier against sex-based discrimination. But Article 15 does something more. It does not only stop discrimination, it also allows the state to make special provisions for women and children. Article 15(3) says, nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. That means the Constitution does not treat all legal differences involving women as unconstitutional. Some differences are allowed when they are meant to protect women, support fairness, or respond to real disadvantage. This is a very important constitutional idea. Equality does not always mean identical treatment in every situation. Sometimes the law must recognize risk, exclusion, or structural disadvantage. Article 15 allows that. So if the state creates a law to protect women's dignity, safety, access, or fair treatment, that is not automatically discrimination against men or a violation of equality. The Constitution itself creates room for such protection. For women, this matters in daily life because sex cannot be used as a valid reason to place them in a lower legal position. A woman cannot be lawfully treated as less deserving of dignity, public respect, civic access, or constitutional protection merely because she is female. The state cannot justify unequal treatment by saying women should accept fewer rights, less freedom, or a smaller place in society. Article 15 stands directly against that kind of thinking. Article 15 also protects women in relation to public access. It says, no citizen shall, on grounds only of sex and certain other listed grounds, be subject to disability, liability, restriction or condition with regard to access to shops, public restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, and certain public places maintained out of state funds or dedicated to public use. So this protection is not only abstract, it also applies to participation in public life and access to public spaces. This means Article 15 protects women in two major ways. First, it stops the state from discriminating against them on the ground of sex. Second, it allows special provisions that help protect women where real fairness requires more than a formal promise of equality. So Article 15 supports both equal citizenship and practical protection. In simple words, Article 15 tells the state you cannot push women down because they are women, and you may also make laws that protect women when protection is genuinely needed. That is why Article 15 is one of the most important constitutional protections available to women in India. Know your rights. Understand your responsibilities.